Hello, kamusta po kayo mga kapwa ko Filipino? Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Well, pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang hearing ng Congress regarding dun sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. And you know what? The experience was like seeing Mayor Duterte back in 2013 when he was interviewed. Remember the Yolanda na grabe umatake dun sa dun sa Tacloban City tsaka sa mga kalapit na lugar noon, yung disaster, and then yung doon ko unang nakita si President Duterte, yung mga pananalita niya na ako mismo naiiyak dahil ramdam ko yung conviction niya sa mga salitang binibitiwan niya. So it was like that nung mapanood ko tong hearing sa Congress. Itong si Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. So he indeed shine like a bright star like Mayor Duterte noong 2013. Now, simple lang naman kasi. Speak the truth and things will fall into the right places. Now, what I saw first is ABS-CBN CEO Mr. Katigbak. So he looked very much like an innocent little boy pleading for the case of his beloved company, so that they are innocent, fair, law-abiding, they serve the country, they serve the Filipino people, which they brought happiness to Filipino families, and most of all, they love their 11,000 employees, and quote unquote 11,000 employees. So they also played videos with the familiar voice of Peter Musling. The voice narrates to the world the goodness about ABS-CBN, yan, yung ganyan. And then, for over 30 years, the same voice that captivates the Filipino hearts. And syempre, alam nyo naman, it was all an attempt to, once again, deceive the Filipino people. And actually, I was reluctantly, from watching, because what I'm expecting, to be honest with you, is everything is a circus. Everything is scripted, diba? That started by House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, diba? Nung i-railroad niya yung temporary or provisional franchise, and then later on kita niya yung pambabatikos na inabot niya, yung questionable na pamamaraan na it's a waste of time, and yun na. So winidraw na yung motion na yun o yung bill na yun because dumiretso na sila sa pagtalakay mismo ng franchise. The problem is, they undermined the most important bills na nakalatag na. Lalo yun sa anak kalusugan kay Congressman Defensor na napakaganda sana para sa mga frontliners natin. So, going back, what I saw was, at that moment, probably the greatest moments that happened inside Congress in the past 30 years. So we have Congressman Marcoleta narrated the scenes of ABS-CBN for just less than 15 minutes. And he did it like, not really 15 minutes, let's say like half an hour. But you know what? He did it like an eyewitness of a crime, telling how it all happened. So I never expect that there's gonna be, has something good because he spoke with conviction, with clarity, and with the heart of a true nationalist, which is very, very rare to find one in Congress. Meron dyan sa Makabayan Block. Wow naman. I doubt. Lahat na lang ng gobyerno kinontra, but we're not gonna talk about them. And going back, so it was like having a dream. It's like a very bright light shining inside a hall and expose the true faces of every congressman. Yung mga tuta doon, and then the few goods and majority of evils, na to the point I noticed sinisira or nasisira pa yung audio niya. And then you will notice, I hope you'll notice that during his speech. So, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta delivered his piece like a brilliant general attacking the enemy's position with great precision and timing. His words were like guided bombs and missiles hitting all its targets that explodes on impact. It was like witnessing the greatest fireworks on earth. It feels so good, man. And ABS-CBN was indeed devastated. It was obliterated in just half an hour. Really, really hard facts and truths delivered right on their faces. And I can't imagine, their reactions, their faces, because I believe nobody expects this. Nobody expects this, that this is gonna happen. That Congressman Marcoleta, although they knew that he has questions, he poses, but I don't think they're all prepared for this. So Marcoleta did his piece just enough for the public to comprehend, attacking ABS-CBN of its, constitutional violation when it comes to ownership, and then questionable acquisition during Cory Aquino's administration, just right after Cory Aquino replaced Marcos. And then the tax evasion cases and corporate layering. And then playing politics from one presidency to the other. So he also mentioned Grace Poe, Noynoy Aquino, the 2010 election and the 2016. And then labor laws violations and hundreds of labor cases filed by their former employees. And then an ethical using of its employees to gain support and sympathy and more. Because that's actually the technique of ABS-CBN. They use emotional appeal. Kaya yung style ni for me, everything what Carlo Katigbak is doing were just scripted, part of the huge circus of ABS-CBN, part of their great effort to once again, deceive the Filipino people and circumvent the law. Ang dami nilang tuta sa Congress, lalo na sa Senado. And I must admit, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta nailed ABS-CBN. The management. He delivered his message to the people, humble with confidence, candid yet respectful, calm yet forceful. He was the man of the hour in Congress. And you know what? If tomorrow is the election, will be the election, what I'm telling you is good to become one of the senator. He will surely win a seat without a doubt. He is a man to watch, and I hope, and I wish to hear more from him. So let's watch the hearing.
Meron po akong pin-repair na konti ring slide. Sana po may pakita muna bago ako magpatuloy.
Pwede po, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta.
Law, ibig sabihin batas. So kaya ginawa ang batas sa isang democratic country na kung nasaan tayo ngayon is para maging pantay-pantay ang lahat ng tao. Sa classroom may batas, bawal lumabas o bawal lumabas. Pero pag sinabing pag nag-comply ka na bawal lumabas, pero may ginawa ka sa pinagbabawal nila, inayos mo yung law ng classroom nyo at sinabmit mo ulit, ay pwede na pala ikaw lumabas.
Mr. Speaker,
No,
my distinguished colleagues, hindi po nag-comply sa batas ang Abs-Cbn, kaya hindi po sila pwedeng lumabas at magpalabas. Those opposing the franchise application of Abs-Cbn will show with clear and convincing evidence that Abs-Cbn did not comply with the terms and conditions of its franchise, as well as our laws and the Constitution. In fact, they will show in the succeeding hearings of the Committee on Legislative Franchises that Abs-Cbn deliberately and with impunity violated the conditions of its legislative franchise and more so of our laws and the Constitution. Matagal na po kasi ang mga aligasyong ito. Hindi mamatay-matay, lumulutang sa internet, nasa labi ng mga Pilipino. Hindi seryosong binigyan ng pansin. Bakit po? Tikom ang bibig ng may kakayahang magsiwalat nito dahil takot sa maimpluwensyang network na kayang sirain ng tao, kandidato man o hindi. Salamat at ganap na nanindigan si Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano at hindi inalintana ang mga tuligsa sa kanya at pinayagan niya na magkaroon ng patas, bukas at malawak ang pagdinig sa mga aligasyong ito katulad ng nagaganap sa araw na ito. Ang banggit nga po sa John 8:32 ay ganito, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Violation of the Constitution. Number 1, franchise is longer than 50 years. Hindi na po dapat payagan itong pagre-renew ng prangkisa ng Abs-Cbn. Dapat na pong isara ang pinto para sa kanila. Bakit po? Because the Abs-Cbn has been using the airwaves for more than 50 years. 53 years today, to be exact. Our Constitution says that Congress can grant a franchise of up to 50 years only. Taong 1957, nang makuha ni Don Eugenio Lopez Sr., may-ari ng Chronicle Broadcasting Network o CBN, ang Alto Broadcasting System o ABS. Simula po noong 1967 ay naging ABS-CBN na po ang tawag dito dahil sa merger ng ABS at CBN. Kung susumahin po natin ang prangkisa nito simula noong 1967, ay 53 taon na po itong gumagamit ng airwaves magpahanggang ngayon. 63 years naman po kung susumahin natin mula po ng pagkakakuha ng CBN sa ABS noong 1957. The Committee on Legislative Franchises should not allow itself to be used by ABS-CBN to again circumvent the Constitution and violate the categorical 50-year limitation imposed on franchises. Hindi na po dapat buhayin muli ng Kongreso ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN sapagkat ayon po sa ating saligang batas, ang buhay ng prangkisa ay hindi dapat lumampas ng 50 taon. EDSA Revolution. Siguro po may mga ngatwiran at sasabihin ng ganito. Isinara naman ng martial law ang ABS-CBN. Di po ba? Dapat huwag bilangin ang panahon na yon. Tanggapin po natin sandali na isinara nga ang Abs-Cbn simula Setyembre 23, 1972, pagkatapos na ideklara ang martial law. Pero hindi po ba nagbukas din ito agad matapos na ito ay mabawing muli ng pamilya Lopez noong EDSA Revolution? Hindi ba't kulang-kulang 13 taon din po ang namagitan na panahon? So let's assume that we subtract 13 years from the 63 years that ABS-CBN has been in operation starting 1957 when CBN acquired ABS. Hindi ba't 50 taon din po ang magiging resulta? Ibig pong sabihin, tapos na at paso na pa rin ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN with or without martial law. Hindi ba't sobra-sobra pa rin ito at lalabag pa rin sa ating saligang batas? Naging palasak nga noong panahon ng martial law ang kantsaw na tama na, sobra na. Subalit ang mahalagang tanong po ng taong bayan na hindi pa nasasagot magpahanggang ngayon ay kung paano biglang nabawi ng mga Lopez ang ABS-CBN mula sa pag-aari ng gobyerno pagkatapos maitalaga ang Cory administration. Sinulatan po noon ni dating Senador Lorenzo Tanyada ang Presidential Commission on Good Government na isoli na sa mga Lopez ang ABS-CBN kahit may arbitration pang nagaganap sa pagitan ng pamahalaan at ABS-CBN. Na i-turn over po agad ang istasyon ng ABS-CBN sa mga Lopez sa kabila ng wala pang pagtukoy sa tunay na pagmimay-ari nito ayon sa kautusan sa Board of Administrators na binuo sa Letter of Instruction number 1 ni Pangulong Cory Aquino. Sa ngayon po ay wala man lang mailabas na papeles tungkol dito ang PCGG. Nagbayad po ba ang ABS-CBN sa Administrasyong Cory Aquino? Nag-public bidding po ba? Bakit tila ura-urada at habang magulo pa ang lahat dahil katatapos lang ng EDSA Revolution, ay biglang napasakamay na muli ng mga Lopez ang ABS-CBN? Nakabatay po ba ito sa batas? Hindi po ba dapat sagutin ng ABS-CBN ang mga tanong na ito upang mapanagot po ang dapat na managot kung meron man? Foreign ownership. Puntahan naman po natin ang muling pagbubukas ng ABS-CBN noong 1986. Pati po kasi noong panahon yun ay may paglabag na rin sa ating saligang batas. Ano po kaya yun? Dahil Amerikano at hindi Pilipino ang may-ari at namahala sa ABS-CBN na mariing ipinagbabawal ng saligang batas. Congress should deny the franchise application of ABS-CBN for its clear violation of the Constitution, requiring 100% Filipino ownership and management of mass media companies. ABS-CBN's former president, Mr. Eugenio Gabi Lopez III, was an American citizen when he took the helm of the company in 1986 as director, then president, and then chairman in the later years. It was only in 2000 that he petitioned for recognition of Filipino citizenship and was issued a certificate of recognition as a Filipino citizen in 2002. At kahit sabihin po natin wala na ngayon sa management ng ABS-CBN si Ginoong Gabi Lopez, nagpatuloy pa rin ba sa paglabag sa saligang batas ang ABS-CBN? Opo. Dahil magpahanggang ngayon ay nagbebenta pa po sila sa mga banyaga, mga hindi Pilipino, ng pag-aari o ownership rights ng ABS-CBN. Through an intricate web of corporate layering, ABS-CBN lets non-Filipinos to own its common shares through the issuance of Philippine Depositary Receipts o PDRs. In September 1999, the ABS-CBN Holdings Corporation offered 132 million Philippine Depositary Receipts underlying the 132 million common shares of ABS-CBN. Immediately prior to the closing of the PDR's offering, Lopez Incorporated, the main stockholder of ABS-CBN Corporation, transferred 132 million ABS-CBN shares to ABS-CBN Holding Corporation, its alter ego. With the many rights afforded to the holders of these PDRs, most of whom, if not all, are foreigners, ABS-CBN Corporation virtually allowed these foreign holders beneficial ownership and potential voting rights. This is a circumvention of the strict foreign equity restriction imposed by the Constitution on mass media companies. Quite obviously, the ABS-CBN PDR instrument, a creative financial mechanism, is being used as a subterfuge to indirectly own the underlying ABS-CBN shares of stock. Violation of workers' rights under the Constitution. ABS-CBN violated the rights of its own workers. It denied them their just share in production as required by the Constitution. It committed unfair labor practices, which consequently denied its employees the benefits required by law to be provided to all employees. Isang halimbawa po dito ay ang asunto na isinampa ng halos 100 o mahigit sa 100 manggagawa ng ABS-CBN sa National Labor Relations Commission o NLRC dahil sa pagtanggal sa kanila dahil sila raw ay mga talents lamang at hindi mga regular na empleyado. Nanalo po ang mga manggagawa sa NLRC at maging sa Court of Appeals. Bakit hindi na lang nila sinunod ang hatol at umapila pa ang ABS-CBN sa Korte Suprema? Ito ba yung sinasabi po kanina sa opening salvo na ang pagmamahal sa kanilang kapamilya ay ganun na lamang? Mali naman po yata na sabihin ng ABS-CBN na lampas sa 11,000 ang mga empleyado nito dahil kung ito po ay masusi nating iimbestigahan, may 2,661 na po at isa lamang. 2,661 ang mga regular na empleyado nito. Ang karamihan po o mahigit na 8,500 na kawani ng ABS-CBN ay tinagurian nilang independent contractors or talents, project workers at contractuals lamang kahit na pang-regular na empleyo ang trabaho nila. Ayon po sa ating labor code, kapag pang-regular ang tungkulin ng isang manggagawa, dapat siyang gawing regular employee. Hindi dapat contractual. Hindi dapat independent contractor, talent, o kaya'y project worker lang. Malinaw na labag sa batas ang ginagawa ng ABS-CBN. Sana ay ibalita rin po ito ng TV Patrol upang mabunyag ang libo-libong endo sa kanilang bakuran. ABS-CBN has not regularized its contractual workers and talents despite performing the functions of regular workers. It even forced some of its workers to sign employment contracts containing waiver of the right to regularization. And those who refuse were unceremoniously terminated from work. ABS-CBN has subcontracted most of its production work to subcontractor production companies, despite the fact that production is directly related to its core business. These production entities are paid minimally, whose workers obviously get lesser benefits and take-home pay compared to ABS-CBN's regular employees. And yet, the profit generated by ABS-CBN from its independent production companies appear greater than its expenses, especially those expenses that are even deductible for income tax purposes. Kung kaya't hindi po may kakaila sa publiko na napakarami ng labor cases na hinarap at haharapin pa ng ABS-CBN. Ang masaklap pa po dito ni hindi nagbibigay ng contribution ang ABS-CBN para sa benepisyo ng kanilang mga empleyado. Dahil po sa 2,661 lang ang regular employees nito, ang mga ito lang ang may benepisyo. Ang iba po na mahigit 8,500 na nagtatrabaho sa ABS-CBN ay wala po ni katiting na government-mandated benefits na natatanggap katulad ng SSS, PhilHealth, o kaya Pag-ibig. Kanina po sa opening salvo, narinig po natin na ang kanila pong isinasangkalan ay yung kanila pong mga kawani, mga manggagawa. Ang kongreso pong ito ay nakikidalamhati. Nalulungkot din po. Bakit naman po hindi? Kung pwede po nating ipaghalimbawa, sandali lamang po, ang ABS-CBN sa isang jeepney driver. Alam po niya na wala siyang prangkisa. Nagsakay po siya ng napakaraming pasahero. Yung mga pasahero naman po, bago sumakay doon, hindi naman niya tatanungin sa driver, mamang chopper, kayo po ba ay may prangkisa? Yung rota po ba ninyo, pinapayagan yan? Wala pong nagtatanong na gano'n kasi mabilisan eh, pare-pareho pong nagmamadali. Ano pong masita siya ng LTFRB? Gagamitin po ba nung driver na yon o nung taxi driver na yon o yung bus operator na yon? Kawawa naman po yung pasahero namin kung patitigilin mo ngayon. Meron pong pupunta sa ospital, meron pong pupunta sa trabaho, meron pong pupunta sa eskwela. Napakarami pong gawain itong mga taong ito. Ito po ba ang ibibigay po ninyong halimbawa? Hindi po ba dapat kayo muna ang kauna-unahan na nag-isip ng kapakanan nila? Ilagay ninyo sa magandang kalagayan ang pagpapatupad ng prangkisa ninyo at wala pong malalagay sa alanganin. Huwag po ninyong isasangkalan ngayon ang inyong mga manggagawa at kani-kanilang pamilya. Hindi po ganon. Sasagutin po ninyong aligasyon na ito, hindi po sa pamamagitan ng emotional appeal. If this indeed the true house of the people, the Committee on Legislative Franchises must side with the poor workers of ABS-CBN in denying its franchise, justice to them will be finally served, although ironically, this will also entail some sacrifice on their part. Political bias. ABS-CBN has been biased and partisan in favor of particular candidates and against certain candidates during the 2010 and 2016 presidential elections, contrary to the terms of its franchise and in violation of the Omnibus Election Code. Hindi naman po lingid sa kalaman ng marami, kung hindi man lahat, kung paano naging pro Noynoy Aquino ang ABS-CBN noong 2010 at pro Grace po at Lenny Robredo naman noong 2016. It is also a matter of record that ABS-CBN failed to air some of President Duterte's political advertisements during the 2016 campaign period despite receiving the payment for said political ads. Ang masakit po dito kung hindi pa sila pinigilan ng korte sa pamamagitan ng isang TRO ay nakahanda na palang ipalabas ng ABS-CBN sa bisperas mismo ng pagtatapos ng campaign period ng 2016 presidential elections. Ang mga anti-Duterte advertisements na binayaran ng isang dating senador, sinadya ang timing para hindi bigyan ng pagkakataong makasagot pa si Mayor Duterte na noon ay kandidato bilang presidente. Mabuti na lamang at napahinuhod ng ang korte ng petisyon ni Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano na noon po ay Vice Presidential Candidate ni Pangulong Duterte at dagliang nag-issue ng TRO ang korte sa ABS-CBN. It is now a public knowledge that President Rodrigo Duterte and Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano expressed their disappointments over ABS-CBN's unfair reportings and meddling in previous elections. For those opposing the franchise application, hindi na po dapat payagan ng ABS-CBN na muling pakialaman ang politika sa ating bansa. Panahon na para ang taong bayan ang pumili ng mga namumuno na gusto nila at hindi ang napipisil ng ABS-CBN. Paalala lang po sa ABS-CBN, you are a broadcasting company, not a political kingmaker. Either you play ball or you play fair. Multiple channels in one franchise. Mga kababayan, inabuso po ng ABS-CBN ang kanilang prangkisa. Sa hindi nila may paliwanag na dahilan o maaari namang sinadya na gamitin ang kanyang prangkisa para sa isang channel lamang, pero gumamit pa ng ibang prangkisa ng telekomunikasyon na hindi naman pang broadcast upang mas kumita at makapagbenta sa pamamagitan ng maraming channels. ABS-CBN violated the terms and conditions of its franchise by offering its TV Plus boxes for a one-time fee but using the free-to-air signal authorized in the franchise granted by Congress at no cost to ABS-CBN. Tubong lugaw, ika nga. But this practice of ABS-CBN without permission from Congress or the National Telecommunication Commission is killing the cable industry, which depends on monthly-based subscription of its clientele. At bukod po sa pagbebenta ng TV Plus box sa publiko, sa Kapamilya Box Office Channel na nakapaloob dito, ay nagawa pang maningil ang ABS-CBN sa bawat pelikulang gustong mapanood ng publiko sa KBO Channel. Ibinenta na nga ang TV Plus box, ibinenta pa rin ang mga palabas na pwedeng mapanood sa TV Plus box. Dobleng tubong lugaw na po ito. Hindi po saklaw ang mga ito sa prangkisa na ipinagkaloob ng Kongreso sa ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN, contrary to the terms and conditions of its franchise, operated this pay-per-view channel, otherwise known as the Kapamilya Tax Office or KBO, without a valid permit from the NTC, and despite NTC's order to refrain from operating a PPB until the issuance of an appropriate guideline for the same, ABS-CBN continued its operation until the expiration of its franchise on May 4, 2020. Tax evasion. ABS-CBN also violated the terms and conditions of its franchise by engaging in tax avoidance schemes, which deprived the government of the much-needed revenue. It used its wholly owned subsidiary, Big Dipper Digital Content and Design, Inc., a PESA-registered company, as tax shield. Its main customer is ABS-CBN Hungary. And because of this unconscionable tax avoidance scheme, ABS-CBN alleged effective tax rate in 2018 was at negative 5%. This means that ABS-CBN managed to avoid paying taxes in 2018. Bakit po ang GMA7 na hindi naman kasing laki o kasing yaman ng ABS-CBN ay nakapagbayad ng buwis sa pamahalaan ng 1.6 billion pesos noong 2018? Samantalang ang malaalamat na ABS-CBN ay walang binayarang buwis. Bakit naman nakalibre ang ABS-CBN noong 2018 sa negative income tax nila na 84 million? Ibig sabihin po nito ay may tax credit pa ang ABS-CBN at ang gobyerno pa ang lumalabas na may utang dito. Wala pong pagkakaiba ito, mga kababayan. Sa isang taong nangutang sa tindahan, binigyan pa ito ng sukli. In 2019, ABS-CBN again did not pay its rightful taxes. It avoided this by entering into compromise agreement with the Bureau of Internal Revenue, with the latter accepting the settlement of 152 million pesos plus from ABS-CBN, equivalent to only 40% of its assessed deficiency in income tax, value-added tax, and documentary stamp tax payments. But this is only one among the 4 other cases lodged by the BIR at the Court of Tax Appeals, all of which were also settled by compromise. Bakit po ganun? Hindi po ba nando sa prangkisa ng ABS-CBN na babayaran nila lahat ang rightful taxes? Kinakailangan po bang sila ay habla pa ng BIR bago sila mapilitang makapagbayad lamang kahit settlement lamang? Ang linaw po ng kanilang prangkisa na babayaran lahat ang kaukulang buwis. Bakit kailangan pong sila ihabla at idemanda pa ng BIR para lamang sila ay makapagbayad? There are also allegations to date that ABS-CBN's Lingkod Kapamilya Foundation, ALKFI, is being used as ABS-CBN as tax shield, and that ALKFI also failed to file donor's tax return and pay the donor's tax. Ito po ang mas nakalulungkot dito, mga kababayan. Kapag politiko o government official ang nagkawang gawa, epal ang tawag dito ng ABS-CBN. Kahit mula pa sa sariling bulsa ng politiko, ang pinanggalingan ito. Pero kapag ito ay galing sa Lingkod Kapamilya, puro pangalan ng ABS-CBN ang kanilang pinangangalandakan. katulad po ng nakita natin ngayon. Alam naman natin na galing naman sa lahat, sa mga donors ang pondo na ginamit nila. Meron po kayang nanggaling sa yaman ng ABS-CBN. Di baling ang pantulong ng ABS-CBN ay galing sa donasyon ng ibang tao. Di baling ang perang pantulong ay mula sa tax avoidance ng kumpanya. Ang mahalaga ay mapalabas nila sa pamamagitan ng sa mamamayan, katulad po ng nakita natin ngayon na napakabuti at napakabait ng ABS-CBN. Kami po ay naniniwala na unti-unti na pong nabubuksan ang katotohanan sa ating mga mamamayan. Hindi po ba mas maganda at katanggap-tanggap na tumulong sa kapwa ng walang nalalabag na batas at buong sikap pang nasusunod ang prangkisa? Dahil po ba kayo ay nakapagdudulot ng saya, ng aliw sa ating mga mamamayan? Dahil po ba kayo ay nakapagbibigay ng inspirasyon, ng pag-asa, ng katatagan ng loob na kagaya po sa opening salvo kanina ng representative ng ABS-CBN? Hindi na po ba natin susundin o tutuparin, isasaalang-alang ang ating mga batas, ang ating saligang batas, o kaya ang prangkisa ninyo? Makakapagpasaya naman po tayo. Makakapag-inspire po tayo. Nang hindi po tayo lumalabag sa batas. The House of Representatives should endeavor not to grant the franchise application of ABS-CBN because it has deliberately floated the Constitution and other related laws. Even the terms and conditions of its previous franchise to suit its own business and political interest, but to the prejudice of the greater good. The grant of a legislative franchise is merely a privilege and not a matter of right. Congress has the exclusive constitutional authority to award, alter, or revoke this privilege when the common good so requires, as in this particular case of ABS-CBN. We believe that it is but right for the House of Representatives to deny this time the franchise of ABS-CBN for flagrantly violating the Constitution and related laws, even its own franchise, making it unworthy of the grant of this special privilege by the state.
Alam mo kung sino lang ang pinakamatinding magiging kalaban ni Cardo?
Sino?
Nako, kabahan ka kay si Cardo. Ang pinakakalaban ni Cardo.
Sino?
Feeling ko si Kiboloy. Yung nagpahinto ng lindol. Si Kiboloy lang ang magpapahinto ng probinsyano. Abangan nyo yan. Oh. So inahamon kita Kiboloy, pahinto mo nga ang probinsyano. Napahinto mo pala ang lindol eh. Apakayabang nyo pala eh. Sabi niya daw, stop. Sige nga, punta kang gitna ng EDSA, stop mo yung traffic doon. Stop. Iba ka, Kiboloy. Alam mo kung sino
Kailan mo ba gustong mapa-stop ang probinsyano? Ikaw, magpili ka. Kailan mo gustong i-stop? 1 buwan, 2 buwan, 3 buwan, 4 na buwan? Ikaw. Baka sa 4 na buwan, hindi lang yung probinsyano may stop. Baka pati yung network mo, stop na yan.
Mr. Speaker, ABS-CBN posed the challenge. Obviously, the challenge was accepted. There is no reason to complain. Maraming salamat po.